Hello everybody, this is Matt, developer of Streets of Rogue, and I wanted to make a video here just explaining my plans for the year 2018. Pretty much most of this is going to be in the latest update for the game, which I should probably be linked below this video if you're watching this on YouTube. And so if you don't want to listen to me talking, just go read that. I'm just going to talk through these points pretty much verbatim at times, so if you don't feel like watching some random footage of the game and listen to me talk, then you don't have to. So first off, I'd like to thank everyone for a really great 2017. I mean, the game came out in early access. It's been really well received. People have been very positive about it. Just tons and tons and tons of bug reports and suggestions and things which are making the game even better. To everyone who's bought the game, who's played the game, who's sent me feedback, seriously, huge thank you. I really appreciate it. This game has been in development for 4 years at this point, and it's really gratifying to have people enjoy my work. So, super cool. Anyways, goals for 2018. Please do not take this list as like absolutes. I cannot promise you that every single one of these things is going to happen in 2018. This is just sort of like what my current plans are. So here's the thing: a lot of people might not know this, but I'm actually the only person working on this game full time. If you look at the credits list when you go into the game, Craig Barnes is doing the music and sound effects. Matthew Weeks is doing environmental art, and TinyBuild is handling promotions and all that jazz. But basically the day-to-day game development is just on me. So it's a lot of work, and oftentimes it's pretty hard to predict exactly, how long things are going to take. But so, this list is just sort of like what I hope to accomplish. Okay, so anyways, without further ado. First point, the launch of Streets of Rogue 1.0 that is out of early access. So basically the current plan is for Streets of Rogue to exit early access at some point in the summer of 2018. What does 1.0 actually entail? Well, basically, the game will be playable from beginning to end and will contain enough content that I consider it a complete experience. However, I will not be ceasing development once the game is launched. It's sort of like, I think of this game as kind of like a Binding of Isaac type of deal where it's like, they launched that game back in 2011. I mean, they're still making content for that thing. I can't promise that the game will be in development for the next 6 years. That might be a little excessive, but still, I do plan on adding a lot of content past the point where the game is technically at 1.0. Now, please bear in mind that summer date could certainly change if I don't feel the game is, quite 1.0 level by that time. So, don't set your calendars at this point, but I'll keep people posted on that. Second point, the Uptown level. So, in recent months, I created the downtown level of the game, and that was level 4. Next level is level 5, Uptown. That's going to be the final major level in the game. So, that is in development right now. Like I literally have the game open working on content for that right at this moment. That's going to span floors 5-1 through 5-3. You can still send me suggestions or put them in the thread that I have open on the forums. After that, I'll be implementing the final encounter in the game and the ending. What form is that going to take? I actually do not know the answer to that right now. There was a big forum thread about this at one point, and there were some really, really good suggestions in here. I haven't totally decided what's going to happen, so yeah, we'll see, I guess. Next up are big missions, or big quests, or whatever I'm calling these days. You might have noticed at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, in the character select menu, and also in the map screen in the game, there's a space that says like big missions or big quests coming soon. And basically what that's going to be is each character in the game will have their own personalized mission that spans the entire game. Like, for example, like the apes mission might be to, like, I don't know, find the lost city of apes within the city, where it's just like the entire place is just run by apes or something. I don't know. Or it could be simpler. It could just be like, kill a certain number of crepes when you're playing as one of the Blood gangsters or something like that. I haven't decided exactly what the big missions are going to be, but they're going to be different for each character. So next up is mission variety. Streets of Rogue's missions tend to be on the basic side, and that is the way I want to keep things. See, here's the thing, most RPG missions boil down to, like, basically go here, kill a thing, steal a thing, escort a wild thistle boar, protect a thing, you know, just sort of basic mission archetypes. And so Streets of Rogue just kind of leaves out the flavor text and you know, things that, you know, make them seem fancier than they actually are. So a lot of people ask for more sort of detailed missions, but that's probably not going to happen. But that said, there is room for additional variety in Streets of Rogue's missions. Right now, you know, for example, you get a lot of missions that are flip 3 switches in a building. You know, those switches don't have to be that. They could be destructible objects or something else. It's just one example, but I have more plans for mission variety, so that's something I'll be doing definitely before 1.0. Building variety. There's a little bit too much repetition in the building layouts right now, and that needs to change. It's not too hard to do new building layouts. Doesn't take too much time. It's fairly relaxing for me, so I like that. Yeah, I'd like the game to be less repetitive overall, so that's definitely going to be in there for 1.0. Disasters. There are definitely not enough disasters in the game, and I really don't like that. There was a really nice big long thread with like 160 posts or something like that in the forums, where people gave me suggestions on disasters they'd like to see. So I'll definitely be implementing a bunch of those. Changes to existing levels. So what you see right now in the slums and industrial and outdoor and downtown levels, there's more planned. I have more ideas for stuff that I want to add to those levels. Those aren't like complete right now. I mean, you know, they're distinctive, but they could be more distinctive from each other. So I have a bunch more ideas on that front. Items. So some of you might have noticed that the selection of items in the game has been somewhat stagnant since the game launched into early access. There's a lot of items available right now, but I have just a really huge, enormous, and growing list of items that I could potentially add to the game. These generally don't take very long to add in comparison to some of the other pieces of content that I do. It's just that right now, like, item variety hasn't really been an area of the game that I felt was half-baked in the way that some of the other areas of the game are. So it just hasn't gotten a whole lot of my attention this past year. That is going to change. Definitely, it's one of those things that could be greatly expanded upon post 1.0. So at some point, you're going to see some real crazy variety there. Same goes for traits and status effects. I have a giant list of those as well. Things I want to add, usually not too difficult to add. Yeah, gotta get on that at some point. Extra playable characters. I want to get some more playable characters in the game before it hits 1.0, and eventually the plan is to fill up all of the slots, all of the empty slots that you see in the character select. That is definitely not going to be happening until post 1.0, but I do want to add some more characters in the coming months. Additional NPC behaviors, things like, for example, like a thief walking up to various people in the world and trying to steal from them. That's something that I want to be doing, stuff like that. Just each character NPC sort of having their own unique behaviors. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. I think it'll add some real, like, dynamic situations to the game. And yeah, that's on my to-do list. Mutators. I have a whole bunch more ideas for those. Gonna look into that at some point. Yeah. Achievements and unlocks. So you have no idea how many people have informed me that they should get an achievement for killing the killer robot. Listen, I agree with you. Plenty of other little instances that people should probably get achievements for doing something cool. It's on my to-do list. Secrets. Am I going to add secrets to the game? Well, I don't know. I mean, if I told you, it wouldn't be a secret, right? Yeah? Extra depth to the home base area, you know, like being able to expand it, stuff like that. Yeah, it's on my radar. I'd like to do something with it. I'm not exactly sure what form that's going to take, but it is on my radar. Leaderboards for the daily run. This is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. I probably would have gotten on it sooner, except like nobody bugs me about this, so I just have to assume it's not something people really want that much. I don't know, maybe it is, maybe people are just shy about it, I don't know. Yeah, so it's two parts here. First off, I have to figure out a proper way to score the game that won't just allow people to exploit it a whole lot, and the other thing is the technical implementation of this. So yeah, that's something I'd like to add at some point. Bug fixes and balance. This is a never-ending thing. The game is never going to be completely bug fixed or balanced, so you know, just keep sending your reports in, and I'll keep doing my best to improve things. The menu system and out-of-game aesthetics. So yeah, I mean, the menus, like when you start at the game, everything's just pretty basic and bare, and the reason for that is just, you know, I wanted to focus on other areas of the game, but I think at some point I should probably improve the overall, like, wraparound aesthetic of the game, so it's maybe a little less basic. I don't know, we'll see if I have time. Okay, here's a big one. Console versions. So if all goes well, Streets of Rogue will be available on multiple consoles at some point this year. The big question I think people who are players right now probably wonder is that going to take a bunch of development time away from the PC version? And you know, it's hard for me to say exactly what sort of time is going to be required from me, but I will say that I've already done a lot of optimization work on the game, which was important for the console versions, and I have one of the console versions up and running right now. Also, I should note that TinyBuild is helping out with one of these ports, so that takes some of the weight off my shoulders. So, I mean, there's always potential for me to hit some snags in this, but I wouldn't worry too much about it. I'm trying not to. So, yeah, I guess the other question is what consoles will the game be available on, and I cannot say that right now. I'm sorry. Modding and workshop support. So this is most likely going to happen post 1.0. I have some ideas, but if I want to be able to implement this the way I want to implement it, it's going to take a bit of time. And so, yeah, probably late in the year is when I would start working on this. Oh, and of course, loot boxes. Yeah, can't forget about loot boxes. Got to have those in the game. Every game's got loot boxes now, right? So, you know, clearly this is the way things are headed. There's not going to be loot boxes in the game. Okay, so I guess we're about finished here, and you may be asking yourself, how can I help out? Well, just keep sending bug reports and suggestions through the forums, Discord, Twitter, and the in-game forum. Like I said before, the feedback from everybody has been extremely crucial in making the game what it is today. Be sure to tell all your friends, spread the word. Anyways, have a great 2018, everybody. Yay!